Hello everyone. I want to welcome you to what I think is an important documentary. We're talking about the City Canvas project here in Connecticut, a project that was started last February and completed on time and on budget, and is part of our attempt to show great places to live and how we can improve them and attract additional arts organizations and cultural opportunities to those communities. I'm very proud of this effort and very proud of the undertaking of our Department of Economic Development, and particularly Kip Bergstrom, who you will hear from shortly.
A year ago, we turned all of our arts grants towards placemaking. The City Canvas project was launched to show the power of that idea. 7 cities from across the state were selected from among their peers through a juried process to receive grant funding for large-scale public art projects. What astounded all of us was the wealth and diversity of the projects, which were completed on budget, on time, and generated excitement and pride of place in each of the 7 cities. From the 4 unique murals in New London, which gave birth to the New London Mural Walk, the largest concentration of mural art in New England, to the magically beautiful Stamford Transportation Center illumination that now delights passers-by at night in both directions on I-95. These projects have served to invigorate and advertise their locations. Over 1,200 volunteers helped to assemble the Waterbury 30 by 30 foot Cool Waters mosaic. Mayor O'Leary of Waterbury told me, this mosaic has not only been a symbol of the rebirth of the Naugatuck River, but of the rebirth of the city of Waterbury itself. After the mural was hung, those 1,200 volunteers called up the mayor and asked him, what can we do next? And he set them loose on refurbishing 2 of the city's parks. Mayor O'Leary believes that this could become a model for cities all across the country. We hope you will view the following documentary of the City Canvas initiative and experience the excitement and community engagement that continues to reverberate across these 7 cities.
All right, very well uncovered. Congratulations. Our cabinet of shells, the first set of murals for the city of New London.
New London is an arts and music community. It's been the primary driver of our economic growth in downtown over the last 10 years. So these mural projects added to that, and now we've created a mural walk in our downtown that people are coming to New London specifically to go on this walk.
Subsequently, what we've ended up seeing is people coming into town, and when you walk around, all of a sudden you discover there's a little cafe here, there's a restaurant, there's a bookstore, or there's a great coffee shop. So really, the direct result has been feet on the street.
It's been a tremendous bang for the buck for the city of New London.
Part of the wonderful aspect of this mural project is that it's not just random pictures. That's my dad. Right there. He started the business back in 1929. We moved to Connecticut in the 50s. Right next to him is Chris Lee, and it's Chris Lee's wife playing the viola. As you go down the end, Dwight Baldwin, who's really a local legend as a percussionist. So really, again, if you think about it, here's a project that isn't just abstract. This is art that ties to the community. That's pretty powerful stuff.
What I'm seeing on the other side of all the hard work that everybody went through to make this happen was taking areas that were housing amazing businesses, but you didn't get that feeling of prosperity and creativity from their exterior walls.
Pre-mural, they were just walls. They were just gray, flaky. There was nothing about them that made people slow down or view anything. It was zoom, zoom, zoom.
One of my favorites is the mural on the hygienic wall. It consists of portraits of local community members that were randomly selected off of Bank Street. This is the epitome of what this program brought together for our community. It brought the merchants in, it brought our local community members in. So it's benefiting New London and the environment and the business community down here, not only bringing people
Well, it connected the spine of the downtown. It makes our thoroughfare like a creative highway right through the heart of our city.
What I've heard from the business owners about the murals is that they absolutely love them. They think they're beautiful, they're inspiring, and they have seen an increase in the number of people walking around and looking into their shops and coming into their shops. So what more could they ask, really?
The investment by the state of Connecticut on a per dollar basis with hygienic art, you get 120 cents back on every dollar.
It is just fantastic. And so we're in love with the murals, and I think those individuals that came to New London are in love with New London because of murals.
I believe that this type of an investment from the state with these type of people on the ground is the perfect mix of the right kind of investment and the right kind of people to make it happen.
We're so increasingly isolated, working at our own computers, but we very rarely do community types of things like barn raisings and quilting bees. This harkens back to a very old form of art. What art is a social interaction between people, and all of us working together to create something way larger than ourselves. And this is not a new idea. This is a centuries-old idea, and I think that's one of the things that most of the people felt. Absolutely. They longed for this interaction of doing something positive, totally positive.
They own this fully in their soul.
Now that was a catalyst for other projects that we've been able to complete here in the city. We're going into our parks and we're taking them back and we're improving them. The people who are involved with the Mosaic project have been volunteering their time in our park community, cleaning up our parks, trimming the shrubs, taking ownership in their neighborhood park, and it's just been an amazing catalyst. The Mosaic project has really ignited excitement for people who want to see the city of Waterbury improve. And I think that, as the mayor, that was one of the most touching moments for the Mosaic project, to see everyone not only do one project, but to continue that momentum to improve the city in a variety of different ways. And that's what I'm so happy.
We realize that our roots go back to the industrial age with the brass industry, for which we're so famous. The root of that success was creativity and innovation. This project really taps into our roots. This has sparked a spirit that laid dormant for so long. We had several meetings where we had to think about placemaking, what it can do for a city. People stepped forward in a way never imagined. The Palace Theater donated a week of its space and time to host the making of the Mosaic. A local company named Industrial Riggers stepped forward and volunteered its materials and manpower to install the Mosaic. And you had 2 to 3 men here, 8 hours a day, putting those panels and drilling the bolts into the wall. We had people bringing food to the theater and feeding everybody, taking people out to lunch, gathering afterwards and using the services of local restaurants.
See, I was here for the dedication, and I saw probably 3,000 people from all walks of life in the community who attended the event. The arts in themselves are part of our overall fabric, and when companies look to relocate in the state and in our major cities like Waterbury, and that's, in this day and age, a very big selling point that Connecticut in this area had.
It was incredible. We had over 1,200 volunteers come out over to the Palace Theater over a week's span to put this beautiful Cool Waters mural together. And when I walked out onto the stage of the Palace, you could see the enthusiasm, the excitement of the city coming together.
And what I saw was something that I'd never seen before. Having lived in New York City, what was fascinating was I saw Connecticut become like New York City for like about a week.
I'm Carrie Raybeck with Connecticut Life Power, and we're proud to be sponsors of the Cool Waters Mosaic Tile in Waterbury, Connecticut. People feel proud when they drive by this project. Many of us live in the area, and of course our work center is right down the street. So it was a sense of really beautifying, and it's visible to many of us who work there. The enthusiasm is still going strong.
And I'm really glad to see that the state is recognizing the importance of art and culture in revitalizing its cities.
Well, the Cool Waters mural is probably the most important thing the community has done as a community in many generations.
City Canvases program has brought together people who are now very interested in doing many other projects in our city. It really has unleashed a lot of creative energy. It is enabling us to move forward with the much more ambitious things that will really make our city shine into the future.
Well, the particular work that we chose was so vibrant and colorful that it has just grabbed everybody that's seen it.
All the artists of the late 20th and into the 21st century, Saul LeWitt was one of the great innovators. When we decided on picking Saul LeWitt, we wanted someone who had deep, deep roots in New Britain. And he had grown up here, he was educated here, and after weeks spent looking around, we discovered this building with the perfect wall right downtown. We were told it was his family's jewelry business for over 100 years, which is a remarkable coincidence.
I've seen a lot of people who have been uplifted and smile, and that's a great thing. We've just completed this mural, this wall drawing. This was a big operation. It's not just getting a roller out and painting a wall. The wall had to be repaired, cracks had to be fixed. We had to bring in outside contractors to do stucco work. We brought in people to do scaffolding. We had very specific paints and techniques to do this project.
2 days after the mural was unveiled, I received 5 phone calls from people looking to rent out the space. Before that, it had been empty for about 9 months, and I had gotten no inquiries. And the second part of that is, shortly after I signed a lease with the tenant, I had another potential leasee call up and basically said she would give me whatever the other woman was paying, sight unseen, inside the building.
It's been a wonderful program, and it's really enabled us to be able to do something that is a real add to the value of our downtown. It's right outside of what will be our transit station. It is a very important kickstart for what I want for our community, making our city center a center for artistic expression, both visual, sculpture, and performance.
People driving by here will see that every morning on their way to work, or on their way home, or on their way to get a gallon of milk, and those people will be uplifted.
It's really created a lot of buzz, and a lot of people have been turned on to the idea of public art, and I think are quickly becoming convinced of how stimulating it can be to our local economy and our creation of our downtown and our area as a destination.
So it's been a wonderful thing, and it's certainly appreciated the state's help with this project, and it's enabling New Britain to show off the arts community that we're so proud of.
As a business owner who's been in New Britain since 1938, there's no doubt that this adds value to the building and also to New Britain in general.
As a resident of New Britain for more than 25 years, I feel that the City Canvases project has launched a momentum that will be truly transformative for New Britain.
Economic Development Director, I look to see how to best bring about revitalization. We were a mill town, and so things have changed, and the creative economy is one that is up and coming and really not only has such wonderful outputs, but also art means business.
All of the successful downtowns throughout the country have had in some way an impact from the arts, from public art. It's its own identity, a fingerprint, and it's a destination for people to come back and see the art and take tours, and it gets people out on the street.
It starts to define Torrington as the arts destination it's becoming. Over the years, we've taken a lot of these old buildings, we've rehabbed them into the Nutmeg Conservatory, the Warner Theater. What we're doing with the Children's Museum across the street, which is the one that people are doing, the arts project just kind of shows off Torrington as an arts destination.
It's
bringing color to the city, which we really need. And if you couple it with the marketplace, it's bringing people like me and my family down to downtown Torrington. Whereas before, I don't know why I'd be down here on a Thursday night walking around. Art is welcoming. Art is something that is persistent and lovely, and it's necessary.
It's been so exciting to be involved with the City Canvas initiative since January, and here we are just a few months later seeing that idea come to life. It's been a wonderful addition to our downtown, and really art enhances our city so much, and it really makes it a placemaking initiative.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I think of a cat as having 9 lives and landing on its feet, and it kind of is a metaphor for the revitalization of Torrington, downtown Torrington, and I think we should all cheer for that.
And the enthusiasm, the excitement on their faces when they walk by and catch sight of the horse, it was extraordinary, it was addictive. And I plan to do many more pieces in my future. I have yet to return to my studio, so I'm still brainstorming for more public art pieces.
It happens to be directly in view of my office window. And it looks absolutely beautiful, because what it really does is say that we not only care about downtown, but this is a vibrant community, that artists not only are, you know, they're no longer an elective, they're an economic part of the downtown.
It's tremendous, because people will talk about it, people want to come see it, it brings people here.
New art project just makes the, you know, it makes the city, makes the downtown pop, you know, with a kind of a new vitality. It's wonderful.
So art for us here in Torrington is a very, very large piece of that puzzle on how we're going to revitalize. So as we continue to revitalize, we hold on to our history, but then we look for the future, and that future includes public art installations made possible by the Office of the Artist.
It's almost a gateway recognizing that there are arts here in Torrington. It's a welcoming sign for those passing through that may not have stopped in Torrington. You know, now have a reason to come back to downtown, to take a look at the art, to take a tour. Maybe it gets them into a restaurant or bar or one of the retail establishments. So it does work just hand in hand. We hear nothing but positive things, and more to come, definitely.
Mayor of Bridgeport, you know that the arts are permeated throughout every neighborhood, especially the downtown, the East End, Black Rock. There are arts everywhere, but a lot of times people don't get exposed to it. So broadcasting it on the side of a building, you know, having a canvas that's really the city itself, connects the people to the art and the artists in the community. The artists are more appreciated now because people actually see the creativity right in front of them, and the quality of life is enhanced because everybody has more fun.
Working over the last 15 years, really come to understand the importance of arts and culture in the revitalization and the economic development that it creates in downtowns.
The Downtown Special Services District is the lead advocate for the revitalization of downtown Bridgeport, and we recognize that our artistic community, our artist community, our creative minds here in downtown Bridgeport are the key to revitalizing downtown.
My brother and I live here downtown in the Reeds building, hosts photographers, musicians, painters. The city canvas really invigorated the artist here.
City Canvas
Canvases opened me up to a whole new world of art, and I'm really excited to learn what's out there, what opportunities I have as an artist. And I think from here it's actually inspiring me to take my work to new places and see what other public projects I could be a part of.
The state's initiative with City Canvases is really the tip of the spear. It's vitally important for us to have this type of program because it creates activity, it creates interest, and it resonates with people that are rediscovering urban areas and rediscovering the connectedness of our cities. We spent the last century hollowing out our cities, and we're going to spend this century really infilling, and they have to be vibrant, interesting places.
I think it connected the artists with the community, and the community was so invigorated by City Canvases. I remember the night we had, I think it was El Finque, the band, playing down at McLeavy Green, and did a march through downtown to the music, and the canvases were being projected up on McLeavy Hall, which is probably the most historic building in Fairfield County.
You know, City Canvases is part of a valuable economic development tool that will help distinguish downtown and brings people, serves to draw people to downtown. It is an absolute important part of the revitalization of downtown.
The old adage that retail follows rooftops is true in the cities as well. If we have residents and businesses, then the retail, the restaurants, the vibrancy will come back to our cities.
For the state to make that investment in that particular area and the way that it was conceptualized was not only unique, but it's something that I felt was a really good opportunity for our city. So it not only provided the financial support, but it also provided a vehicle to empower our local artists and those that really had an ability to select the art to be involved and engaged in that process.
Inspiration is something that our downtowns need. We need to have a sense that things are possible, and the way you're going to do that is not necessarily doing the old, and it's not necessarily about doing what's new. It's about connecting those two things in an active imagination and inspiring people to think it's possible for them to make a difference.
As a citizen of Connecticut for the last close to 20 years now, I can say, and I know that for certain, that art is necessary for any society, for any municipality to survive, because art brings what's deep and most meaningful about reality into the surface, and is really necessary for a successful functioning of contemporary American society.
It is a catalyst for conversation, it's a catalyst for community making, along with placemaking, because it's a moment that creates intrigue and something outside of the everyday.
You know, the investment that we're making in the arts helps to create an economy that's about $250 million of revenue into the city alone. That stream of commerce funds approximately 7,000 jobs. There's about another $22 million in taxes that come in as a result of that art activity. And I think it fits in very well with the governor's Connecticut's The Revolutionary campaign, because we can't just come up with a catchy phrase and just hope that people will come. It needs to be a very thoughtful, deliberate marketing approach to exploiting all those assets that we have that made us revolutionary, that engraved us into the history of this country in ways that are indelible, but also how it is that we're still revolutionary in terms of what we do.
Real Artways has commissioned and produced more than 30 public art projects in downtown Hartford and in the neighborhoods of Hartford over the last 22 years. We've used the creation of these projects as an opportunity to work with community groups and to link them in with artists, to create something that goes beyond just an isolated artist creating work maybe for themselves and a few friends, to creating something which connects with people, where we work with people and make something that reflects the imagination, not just of the artists, but of the communities themselves.
From a government management point of view, to be able to give some resources in very strategic points that are revolutionary within themselves is incredible. And it complements what cities are supposed to do, which is to have the central government support different venues throughout the state that become places where people can meet to have really significant discussions, not just about art, but about other things, about politics, about history, about medicine, science. That's what cities are meant to do.
City Canvas art project fell into my lap in some way miraculously. That felt like a yes, bold step forward, but to some degree a logical progression of things. So I embraced this and felt like that's exactly what I would rather do at this point, what I would want to do at this point.
It's an ongoing thing of celebrating our state, celebrating our cities, celebrating our places, celebrating our communities, and it's really exciting.
When I look at a project like this, it inspires me to do more. One project is not enough. It's about one, and then another, and then another. One idea is not enough. We need multiple ideas, all operating at the same time, inspired by each other. An act of imagination can be the spark that makes our downtowns work.
The City Canvas project is an extremely unique project. It was something that when we first heard about it, we really weren't sure what it meant until we drilled down on it and recognized the value of doing something artistic in our community, something that will shed light on Stamford for years to come.
The City Canvases project for Stamford is our signature marketing piece for the city, and we'll brand it in a way that no other thing we could do, either print or other media, could possibly do for us.
Art's important because art inspires, and we now have an opportunity with this installation to inspire generations to come. Now that we have something that's essentially our own version of the Empire State Building that we can light and create to symbolize whatever it is that we need to symbolize at whatever point in time.
And it utilizes the technology that makes it very low maintenance. It's interchangeable. You can create new design anytime you want. You could change the colors, you could change the lighting, you could change the frequency of movement. There's a whole bunch of things. In fact, anything can be modified. It could be changed like a slide presentation. We can do a whole series of things that show that the technology is here to stay and that we're at the very beginning of it.
By lighting the train station, it will make Stamford visible from the tens of thousands of people along the highway, the 50,000 plus people who use the train station every day, who commute from New York, and all the people that surround the area, whether they're working or whether they're just enjoying Stamford.
Now, hope I don't get in trouble with this, but it is a facility before the city lights that looked like something you'd find in East Berlin. And now what it is it's alive with color. It makes a statement for people that are passing by. Come down and see it, because it's really exciting to see. It's a unique venue. You don't see very much of it anywhere else. It's new because of the innovative and new designs in lighting, and I think you'll enjoy seeing what you see.
It is really a canvas, which is the exciting piece, that will allow us to take this investment that the state has made in this project in Stamford and really have its life extend for many years into the future.
So at the end of the day, when you take a look at what value was brought here, we heard comments back in our debrief from these other neighborhood association individuals. We heard you couldn't walk around Stamford that day without knowing that something big was going on. We heard that restaurants were basically reporting that they felt that there was an uptick in business in their neighborhoods that were active. And after the fact, we found out that there were members of other neighborhood associations who might have initially said, maybe not this time around, who are now saying, I really wish I was part of it, and I can't wait to see what happens next year. So, for what happened here in the city of Stamford, with City Canvas coming in and helping us to do this initiative, it was more than just an art display on a wall. It is an anchor, it is a beacon, it is now a gateway into what makes our city great.
I think one of the great things about the City Canvases project, which really should resonate for everybody in Connecticut, is that Stamford, this is a gateway project not only for Stamford, but really as the first major city that anyone coming into our state from any point west and south, it will be the first thing that they see and really will be something to have everyone talk about, not only Stamford, but wow, this is the state of Connecticut. It really will greet visitors into our state in a very, very unique way.
As people come through the station now, the hope is that they will be inspired. They will be thinking about something different than perhaps the troubles of their day. And they'll be thinking about being welcomed home to a creative, vibrant place that they know Stamford.
That building is going to be going from a bland monolith to something very exciting and alive. And that's the whole purpose of it. It's a facility that is alive.
I can't think of a more cost-efficient and effective marketing piece that we could invest in on behalf of the city and the state as the City Canvases project will be in Stamford, not only for now, but for many years into the future.
Hello, I'm Rod France, one of 2 project managers for the City Canvas Initiative, along with Margaret Bodell. I worked for many years with the writer Richard Florida, whose work said, basically, that cities that enable people to self-actualize, to become the person that they truly want to be, are the cities that will be successful in the future. What Margaret and I witnessed in the City Canvas Initiative was 7 communities around the state of Connecticut self-actualizing, becoming passionate around artworks in the public sphere. The excitement engendered by the City Canvas Initiative has allowed Margaret and me to begin planning with the Office of the Arts for the next phase of this sort of activation and self-actualization called Create Here Now.
we could do, either print or other media could possibly do for us.
Art's important because art inspires, and we now have an opportunity with this installation to inspire generations to come. Now that we have something that's essentially our own version of the Empire State Building that we can light and create to symbolize whatever it is that we need to symbolize at whatever point in time.
And it utilizes the technology that makes it very low maintenance. It's interchangeable. You can create new design anytime you want. You could change the colors, you could change the lighting, you could change the frequency of movement. There's a whole bunch of things. In fact, anything can be modified. It could be changed like a slide presentation. We can do a whole series of things that show that the technology is here to stay and that we're at the very beginning of it.
By lighting the train station, it will make Stamford visible from the tens of thousands of people along the highway, the 50,000 plus people who use the train station every day, who commute from New York, and all the people that surround the area, whether they're working or whether they're just enjoying Stamford.
Now, hope I don't get in trouble with this, but it is a facility before the city lights that looked like something you'd find in East Berlin. And now what it is it's alive with color. It makes a statement for people that are passing by. Come down and see it, because it's really exciting to see. It's a unique venue. You don't see very much of it anywhere else. It's new because of the innovative and new designs in lighting, and I think you'll enjoy seeing what you see.
It is really a canvas, which is the exciting piece, that will allow us to take this investment that the state has made in this project in Stamford and really have its life extend for many years into the future.
So at the end of the day, when you take a look at what value was brought here, we heard comments back in our debrief from these other neighborhood association individuals. We heard you couldn't walk around Stamford that day without knowing that something big was going on. You know, we heard that restaurants were basically reporting that they felt that there was an uptick in business in their neighborhoods that were active. And after the fact, we found out that there were members of other neighborhood associations who might have initially said, maybe not this time around, who are now saying, I really wish I was part of it, and I can't wait to see what happens next year. So, for what happened here in the city of Stamford, with City Canvas coming in and helping us to do this initiative, it was more than just an art display on a wall. It is an anchor, it is a beacon, it is now a gateway into what makes our city great.
I think one of the great things about the City Canvases project, which really should resonate for everybody in Connecticut, is that Stamford, this is a gateway project not only for Stamford, but really as the first major city that anyone coming into our state from any point west and south, it will be the first thing that they see and really will be something to have everyone talk about, not only Stamford, but wow, this is the state of Connecticut. It really will greet visitors into our state in a very, very unique way.
As people come through the station now, the hope is that they will be inspired. They will be thinking about something different than perhaps the troubles of their day. And they'll be thinking about being welcomed home to a creative, vibrant place that they know Stamford.
That building is going to be going from a bland monolith to something very exciting and alive. And that's the whole purpose of it. It's a facility that is alive.
I can't think of a more cost-efficient and effective marketing piece that we could invest in on behalf of the city and the state as the City Canvases project will be in Stamford, not only for now, but for many years into the future.
Hello, I'm Rod France, one of 2 project managers for the City Canvas Initiative, along with Margaret Bodell. I worked for many years with the writer Richard Florida, whose work said basically that cities that enable people to self-actualize, to become the person that they truly want to be, are the cities that will be successful in the future. What Margaret and I witnessed in the City Canvas Initiative was 7 communities around the state of Connecticut self-actualizing, becoming passionate around artworks in the public sphere. The excitement engendered by the City Canvas Initiative has allowed Margaret and me to begin planning with the Office of the Arts for the next phase of this sort of activation and self-actualization called Create Here Now.